You're tuned in to Nerd Overload, your weekly pop and geek culture show covering movies, TV, games, and comics. Now your hosts, Cody Pinnick, Sam Dunham, and Josh Harrison.
Hey everybody, welcome to Nerd Overload, the pop and geek culture show that could be playing the new Zelda right now, but isn't, so you better be grateful that we're here doing this for you. I'm Cody.
I'm Sam.
I'm Hit.
And I'm Samantha.
We have a fantastic show for you this week. We're going to be talking about the Tears of the Kingdom a little bit. We're going to be talking about other stuff. But first, let's get into some Check It Outs.
Check it out!
I took a kind of low energy there at going into it. That's all right. That's all right. It's a weird energy this week, but that's okay.
So I have played Tears of the Kingdom for about an hour and a half. Mm-hmm. It seems like it is very, very good. It seems like it's got a lot more going on than just being more of the same.
Okay.
I mean, you can build Megazords.
Yeah. But I really haven't gotten far enough into it to give any sort of deep critique of what's going on. But so far, it seems really good.
Yeah, so this is the sequel to Legends of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which was a launch title for the Nintendo Switch. And
also one of the best video games Nintendo has ever produced.
Oh, absolutely. Really, really well done. Fantastic open world. Great story, great feeling, great looking. I mean, everything was good.
I mean, it definitely gave a lot of life to Hyrule.
Yeah, and the more I see about Tears of the Kingdom, the more it seems like it's not just more of the saying more of the same sounds reductive, but it's really not, because what it was good.
Yeah, more of the same would have been fine, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's not that. It has so much more going on. It seems like. Good
deal. I will be waiting a couple weeks to pick it up. I've decided not to be an early day and date for it, but I'll let everybody else. I'll live vicariously through the rest of the universe for a little bit.
Somehow, Ganondorf has returned.
No, they explained it pretty well why he's around. It's the opening like sequence is very cool.
Oh, good.
But that's all I want to say about it right now.
Okay, sure. Yeah. We don't want to go into spoilers because we can't really, because we haven't played it that much. And let's give it some time to percolate and get our opinions on it. What else have you guys done?
We saw Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
Okay.
It's another one that we don't want to get spoilery on because it hasn't been out that long.
Sure.
But I think it's my favorite one of the three.
Really?
Which
really
is
good.
Okay, because I was going to ask, because from what I've been reading, it's not performing quite as well as past Marvel movies.
Yeah, well, Marvel as a whole has been kind
on
of
the backslide,
on the decline, which is a shame for this movie because it's very good.
I've heard very good things about it. My folks went and saw it last weekend, opening weekend, and really enjoyed it. And
I heard it definitely is more of a Rocket movie.
Yes,
anything.
it is. It is very focused on Rocket, which I enjoyed because I'm very much done with like Star-Lord's sad man problems.
Yeah, you know what? Rocket, it's Rocket's turn for a focus.
I mean, plus in the current comics, Rocket is the leader of the Guardians.
And it does touch on Star-Lord's sad man problems a little bit, but
of course it does.
But enough that it's not annoying.
It doesn't detract from the movie.
Yeah. And all the characters are so well written and well developed, and they act the way you know and love them to act.
James Gunn's strength really comes in writing ensemble casts.
Yeah,
I think, and
that's why the Suicide Squad was so good.
Was as good as it is. Makes me wonder what kind of ensemble he'll put together for Superman Legacy, because that is a mostly singular kind of focused story, at least on the outset. But if they build up some kind of crazy supporting cast to go along with them, should be good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like animal cruelty stuff that you may or may not like.
That is
depending.
the one thing I keep seeing from some folks online, because you can't get away. I'm terminally online and I can't get away from reviews. That is the one thing that I keep seeing every once in a while. It's like, this is great, this is great, this is awesome, it's the best one, da-da-da. And then one person will go,
I didn't like that animal stuff.
Boy, I couldn't watch that animal stuff.
I mean, it's rough, but it serves narrative purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, in the comics, Rocket's backstory is kind of sad.
Yeah, and it makes the villain, the high evolutionary, like, nasty.
I hear they do nothing. They don't fall into the Marvel trope of trying to humanize the villain.
Oh no!
They made a conscious effort to make him know, this guy is messed up. You are not supposed to like him.
And he's probably one of the best villains they've done.
High Evolutionary in the comics is really fascinating character.
Yeah, and the guy that plays him, and I forget what his name is, did a really excellent job. It's really cool. Really, really cool character. That he's so evil.
Yeah, and he's done a couple of I can't recall the guy's name either, but he's done a couple of gun projects as well. He was in Peacemaker. He was the he was the guy with the alien or whatever, right? Inside him.
Yeah. Spoilers for Peacemaker.
Peacemaker's been out long enough. It's fine.
That didn't dawn on me, but you're right. Well, because he has like a stretched out face for most of the movie.
He looks like RoboCop without his mask on.
Yeah. Which is a joke that they make in the movie.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Awesome. Okay, great.
I thought Nebula was extra good. They gave her more screen time than they had before.
The last couple projects that Nebula was in, they've beefed up Nebula as a character.
Yeah, which is good because she's great. And
Plus
Karen Gillian is great.
I hear that the movie really kind of ends the trilogy in a place where they don't need to go back to the well anymore. The Guardian story can just be done.
Yeah, they tie it up really good. There's still places it can go. But it's different directions.
They can now be relegated to like background, character, show up in a thing or whatever.
But it does tie the whole thing up really well in a really nice way.
That's good. That's what the series really needed.
Yeah.
That's the thing that I think a lot of the Marvel movies, especially once they got into the Marvel machine, are sorely lacking, is any kind of satisfying conclusion.
The one thing I've seen that I don't like is I don't like the way Groot looks. I didn't like it in the Christmas special.
He changes a lot throughout the movie, so don't worry about it.
Okay.
And I've also heard a lot of the explanation is, well, the Groot that we saw in the first one spent most of his life on Groot Planet, being surrounded by his own people. This is a Groot that has grown up around other people and has
morphed himself to look like other people.
Well, not so much morphed himself, but has just been had outside influences that have shaped the way he's grown up, a nature versus nurture sort of situation.
Also, this is like good movie level CG Groot, not the weird mascot suit that they had in the Christmas special.
Sure, yeah.
He looked like hot garbage in the Christmas special.
He did. Well, he looked like a Groot cosplayer.
Yeah, but then again, they've as good as that Christmas special was, and it was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
they filmed it for $12 and a pack of gum.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, there's a reason why they spent most of the Christmas on Earth in one neighborhood.
They probably tricked Chris Pratt into being in it. They probably told him it was the scene for the movie.
More than likely, yeah, more than likely. But no, I'm glad it was. I'm glad it was good. I am looking forward to. I am going to see this one.
Yeah,
I've avoided a lot of the Marvel movies recently, but I am going to.
It's a shame they're on the downslide because this is one of the good ones. Trademark. I
have a feeling, not to be a negative Nancy and not to be like, oh, superhero movies are on the backslide or whatever. But
they are though.
they are. But I have a feeling when the fad is over and people are looking back on it in retrospect, I imagine they're going to look at this one as being like one of the last good ones.
Probably.
I mean, Wakanda Forever was so good.
Yeah.
That was such a good movie. And also one of the only other ones I've watched, because I haven't watched the new
Yeah.
Ant-Man. I haven't watched Shang-Chi. I didn't watch Black Widow.
Those were all pretty good.
Black
too.
Widow's fine.
Black Widow was pretty good. Shang-Chi was excellent.
I don't know. I just the Marvel machine. I'm beating a dead.
You mean the Disney machine?
The
Well,
Disney machine.
they-
I'm beating a dead horse. I've said
just-
it a million times.
They just
already.
need to take a couple years off, or just focus on the TV stuff. Do like a Star Wars.
or put out a movie a year.
Yeah.
and not multiple.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine when it was 1 or 2 movies a year,
Well, yeah,
and not like 100.
Star Wars put out 3 progressively worse movies, and then went, "Ooh, let's take
Pump the brakes.
Yeah, let's pump the brakes on this for a while." That's what they,
Hey, what do people like? People like Boba Fett. Let's give them Chrome Boba Fett. And it worked.
Chroma Fett.
Chroma Fett.
Yeah, give us time to miss the Marvel characters and universe, and then bring it back.
Yeah, that's all you need. But they're not gonna.
Yeah, because it always needs to be more money all the time. Continuous growth forever is completely sustainable, and it's never going to stop.
That's exactly. Yes, it's never going to end.
It's money, money, money forever, and it's never going to stop.
The Disney machine go.
Yeah. Everybody get excited for live action Little Mermaid. It's money forever.
Money, money, money. So, okay. So the one thing that I kind of did over last weekend, it was Free Comic Book Day.
Yes, I was also there.
Yeah, we were there at different times though.
Yes,
I
yes.
was only able to stop out for a couple of minutes. I had other things going on that day, but we stopped out at the local comic shop, Thunder Fury, here in town.
Yep.
And it was impressive. I was impressed by the crowd.
It was hopping.
Yeah, they had a lot of stuff going on. They had people in costume. They had
And they had a cosplay contest.
they had a
too.
cosplay contest. I know a buddy of mine was doing a miniature painting session. He had like primed a bunch of like zombie figurines or whatever, and was going to teach people to do that. They had booths with local art vendors.
Oh yeah, there was an artist alley with all local artists.
Yep, and that was pretty cool. They had
Including my sister.
including your sister. Yeah, and they had food trucks, I believe, or at least they had announced food
I'll
trucks.
say, what food trucks were there?
I would say I didn't see any food trucks.
Yeah. Okay. Well, they might have shown up eventually, but
I don't know.
They had announced it a couple times.
Thunder Fury owns the hot dog stand. now.
They do own Thunder Fury hot dog stand. Yeah, that is true. But it was a lot. It was a lot of fun. I was very impressed, and
Also, there was that. I don't know if you saw him, but there was that little kid war machine wandering around.
that was very cool as well. Yeah, I saw a lot of the pictures and stuff. That
Little
was
tiny war machine.
Little tiny war machine. It was pretty cute. It was pretty great.
Coming to Disney Plus this fall.
My little war machine. My little war machine.
Armor Wars babies.
Titanium tot.
Yeah. Pepper Potts is the nanny, and you only see her legs.
The boy droid. Instead of man droid.
The android is boy droid. Yeah.
Iron Lad. That's a Young Avengers joke.
Oh, did you guys watch the new Muppets Mayhem show?
I will
I
be watching
forgot
that
about
this
it.
weekend.
I
I did
forgot
not get
about
a
it.
chance to.
It just came out last week, this week, I don't know.
days ago.
It did just come out. We were about 3 or 4 episodes deep because we didn't want to run through it all at once. You got to savor your Muppets content.
Oh,
'cause it
these
doesn't
days,
come out all
absolutely, yeah.
the time. So far, it's really good though. It's really funny. Good PG Muppets comedy.
Good. That's what. Yeah. That's what that needs to be. Yeah.
Some great puns and fun puppets and
So, do they do it is it like a behind the music for like the Electric Mayhem, or how do they do it?
No, it's not like a faux documentary style or anything. It's just a show.
Okay.
That the main character that I think Lily Singh is her name plays is a assistant to a record executive at a washed out record label, and she's going through their papers and finds that the Electric Mayhem owe them an album. And also, the Electric Mayhem have never actually produced an album because they've never stopped touring their entire lives.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's her job to organize the Electric Mayhem.
Wrangle the mayhem.
Yes, wrangle the mayhem into producing a legitimate album.
Interesting.
And that's the conceit of the show.
Oh, that's awesome. That's a really good conceit. And the Electric Mayhem have always been like some of my favorite characters of the Muppets.
It's got Animal, and Animal is one of the most iconic Muppet characters, period.
And there's some really great animal stuff. Oh,
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
I mean, hell, Animal's in that one weird insurance commercial.
Well, yeah.
There's a scene with him and Ben Schwartz, Sonic the Hedgehog himself, where he's like a job placement guy trying to get Animal a job, and just them riffing back and forth on that premise alone is really
that's
funny.
good. That's good. But this series, it doesn't do that thing where like all of a sudden Floyd Pepper's going to have a serious moment or anything like that where they learn a lesson or anything.
I mean, a little bit, because it's an Adam Goldberg produced show.
Yeah.
So it does kind of have the same beats as like a Goldberg's episode would.
Sure. All right. Well, that's fine,
But
though.
it's still good.
I mean, I like the Goldbergs.
Yeah. But if you watch enough Goldbergs, you definitely like figure out the formula pretty quick.
Sure.
People always hug in the third act.
Yes.
Always.
Yeah. But then again, the Goldbergs, it was also supposed to be formulaic because it was mocking an 80s sitcom while also being set in about the 80s.
But like the episodes we've watched so far, it's a very similar like some sort of like emotional mistake occurs. And
central plot learned in the third act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's enough Muppets fun that it's fine. Yeah.
That's fine. That fits. That's all right.
And it's just silly enough, and there's a lot of fun cameos too.
Cool.
Because that's the Muppets.
You got to.
Yeah.
You got to. I'm sure it gives a lot of musical artists and stuff like that opportunity to show up and stuff. That's cool.
Billy Corrigan is in the first episode.
Was he standing off stage eating a bag of chips?
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah, because that's what he's known for now is the Zwan concert that he just walked off stage and was just eating a bag of potato chips while the band was just doing their thing because boy got hungry.
God, Swan sucked. Like, as much as I love the Smashing Pumpkins, Swan sucked.
I am just okay with the Smashing Pumpkins, so I have no problem saying Zwan sucked.
They're okay. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan.
No attachment really.
But it was a funny, like, kind of big get to show up cool. in a Muppet show.
Yeah, nice.
Man, I really liked that Muppet show that was like The Office.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That was really well done as well.
I'm still mad that it got canceled because it was so good.
Ahead of its time.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
While also being kind of behind its time because it was an Office ripoff.
Yeah, well, it came out too early to make it on streaming.
Yes, that's what I meant by ahead of its time. Because on streaming that would have lasted 5 seasons.
it would have killed it. It would have been a tentpole Disney Plus show.
This show kind of has a similar vibe to it. But
really?
It's not as adult as that was. But it is. I don't know because it's Muppets. Because it's both.
It's the Muppets.
Why it feels similar.
Yeah,
and it's the Electric Mayhem.
It's funny how some of the Electric Mayhem Muppets themselves, clearly weren't meant to mainline a show.
Sure.
Because like 2 out of the 4 of them or whatever don't have any sort of facial like.
Oh yeah, Zoot has no eyes.
Yeah, Zoot has no eyes. Lips's eyes don't move; they're closed.
Yeah.
Floyd and Animal can move their eyebrows.
Right.
And Dr. Teeth, the only facial movement he has is his sunglasses go up and down. Like, they're clearly side characters.
They were meant to be side, yeah.
But even then, that's what makes it even better. These characters deserve to be explored, I think.
Yeah. Well, cool. I'm glad it's good. I am looking forward to checking that one out. Been meaning to, so cool.
Yeah, it's an easy watch. They're 29-minute episodes.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I would love to see a Muppets show in the style of Arrested Development.
Yeah.
For some reason, that feels like it would work.
It's called Karate Kermit.
But I mean, like with the voiceover narrator, saying,
yeah.
But of course it wasn't.
They could just bring the Muppet Show back as it was.
They could do that as well. Yeah.
I mean, that's what Muppets Tonight was, and that was
Sure.
good.
Muppets Tonight was
in the
great.
90s, yeah.
Yeah, with what was the new guy's name? It was Kevin Clash was the voice.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What was the new guy's Clifford?
Yeah.
Clifford.
Yep, yeah, that was it.
Yeah. No, I always liked Muppets Tonight. That was actually that wasn't my first. That was my first televised Muppets.
Yeah, as it came out.
As it came out. Yeah.
Yeah, my
Because
first Muppets were
was-
reruns on Nickelodeon.
Mine was the Muppet movies. We had them on VHS, and I damn near wore them out.
I mean, I watched syndicated episodes of the Muppet Show.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely did watch some of the Muppet movies more. You know, like
I actually might have watched Muppet Babies before I watched the Muppet Show, now that I think about it.
Oh yeah, you know what? That's true. Muppet Babies.
I mean,
would have
I
been
watched
big around
Muppet
that
Baby.
time.
I watched Muppet Babies, and I distinctly remember the Star Wars one for some reason.
Oh yeah, the Star Wars one and the Indiana Jones one.
Yeah, which are like one of the first times I can remember pop culture media getting referenced in other things.
Also, Roman the robot monster is in an episode.
Oh right. Oh yeah.
In this new one, they show Animal as a baby, and it's a different design, and it's the cutest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Oh great. They baby Yoda animal.
He's only on screen for like 2 minutes.
But they can sell a toy.
Yeah.
Of course they will.
But it is the most adorable depiction of Animal I've ever seen.
Oh, that's great.
And I've never been a fan of his Muppet Babies, like stupid bonnet look.
Yeah, no, not a huge fan
This
of that.
is much better.
Good. Cool. As a kid, I'll be honest. I mean, as an adult now, the Muppet movie is number one top tier. But as a kid, I liked the Great Muppet Caper a little better.
I don't think I've ever seen the Great Muppet Caper, honestly.
Oh, it's good. I mean, it's much more British. It's much more British humor. And it has a plot to it. Like, there are stakes to it. It's not just a road movie where they go from place to place, do a funny thing, and move on.
Aren't they like playing characters?
They are playing characters. Yeah, it's a movie within a movie kind of thing. There's a point where Kermit and Miss Piggy are arguing, and for about half a second, the argument turns into like a real life argument. And Kermit goes, just real quiet, like almost off mic, goes, Piggy, I'm sorry, but we got to finish the scene. And then it picks right back up. But there's a lot of British humor. There's a lot of British actors and actresses in it.
Well, they filmed so much of the Muppet stuff in the UK.
Oh yeah, Lord Lou Grade's office and stuff like that. Was over there. That's where they did everything. But yeah, I liked Muppet Caper a little better.
Is that the one where they ride bikes at the end? No, that's Muppets Take Manhattan.
That's Muppets Take Manhattan. No, this one's the one where Charles Grodin is a villain that steals the baseball diamond, which is a rip on the Hope diamond, and the joke is it looks like a baseball, and the mat that it's sitting on, they're coming down from the ceiling, and it looks like a catcher's glove.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good joke.
I forgot about that.
And they have, and it's the dumbest recurring joke. But at 3 or 4 points, Kermit says something about how we're going to catch those crooks red-handed, and one of the other Muppets, doesn't matter who, they just go, "What color are their hands now?" It's such a Muppets joke, because it's just such a groaner. But by the 4th time you hear it, you're like, "Oh yeah, they said it."
It sounds like a Fozzie joke.
Yeah,
it's like the icy patch in the Muppets Family Christmas.
Yeah,
we watched that at Christmas time on YouTube because that's the only place you can see it.
Yeah,
and there's a running gag where everybody slips on icy patch as they're coming in the house.
Yeah.
And that's such a fun special because it crosses all Muppet barriers.
It has all of them. It has Bean Bunny. It has
it has Sesame Street. It has Fraggles. And it has the Muppets, which is why they can't show it anywhere. They can't legally show it anywhere.
Right, it's so many different things.
Yeah,
and Jim Henson's at the end. He's doing dishes.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. All right, hey, let's go ahead and take a break here. When we come back, we are going to dig into all sorts of cool, very interesting, very pertinent news. So stick around.
This is Gail Martin.
Hi, this is Carol Kelly. We'd like to invite you to join us for our gardening and outdoors show here on WZMO. We talk about observations and insights about what's happening from week to week with plants and animals in the woods and fields around us, as well as what's going on in the garden.
In the Green Outdoors airs Saturdays and Mondays at about 9:30 a.m., right after the second cup. We hope you'll join us.
Hi, I'm John Schnabel of the band 6 Miles to Nelly. My good friend Greg Dunham has a show here on WZMO, and it's called Long Play. He just plays full albums front to back. Now, I'll admit, I've never really listened to the show, but I'll tell you this. Anything Flash does is going to be first-rate, well done, and thought-provoking. I invite you to tune in on Friday nights at 11 and Saturday afternoons at 3. Check it out. I guarantee there's at least an outside chance that you may or may not find Long Play, at least at the minimum, somewhat enjoyable.
Hey, we're back from the break. Are you back from the break? We hope so. Anyway,
Because here we are.
because here we are.
Starting.
We're going to keep going whether you're back or not, so that's fine. We're going to get into some news.
Good transition.
Thank you. Thank you.
A fresh new take.
You know what? I was listening back. I was editing back last week's episode, and I realized I say the exact same things every single time we do the show.
I mean,
I have kind of more than you guys. I have a little bit of a script, and I don't want that.
Well, I feel like that's pretty much every news outlet says kind of the same things.
Yeah, so we're freshening it up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have to be every news outlet.
That's right. So anyway, let's talk about some stuff. We have a weird smattering of news. I don't know if it's the most important news out there, but there are sure things that happened.
Things keep happening out there.
Whether we like it or not, things keep happening. Let's get the big one out of the way. Let's talk about the writer's strike.
Oh, boy.
Let's jump right in. Start with the negative and slowly build back up to positive by the end.
I can't wait for all of my shows to get really bad in 6 months.
Yeah, it's gonna be rough going for serialized television.
Well, here's the thing. Pretty much everything's on hold right now because of the strike. Which I'm fine with the strike because...
Oh, I am absolutely 100% behind the strike.
Yeah,
a lot of it is like... Because like writers and stuff that work on like a lot of streaming shows aren't paid their fair due because there's no metric for them to measure, streaming content.
And that is a weak argument that,
I know.
companies are making about that.
The fact that like some big, like of all the big media companies, which I mean, I think there's like 5 and they own like $1 billion of everything.
Yeah, there's 5 and then they're owned by 3 other companies.
Yeah.
Right.
And it all boils down until everything is owned by Disney and Hasbro.
and the Shineheart Wig Company. I think that's the 30 Rock joke.
But yeah, these CEOs of these media companies get huge bonuses and stuff, and a lot of writers for these super popular shows are on assistance and can't pay their rents or their mortgage,
or they can't afford to live in the city where they have to go to write the show.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're on strike. So power to the worker.
Yeah.
Oh, 100% behind the strike. Listen, writers are important, and everyone should get their fair wages.
I tell you, which is the dumbest thing one of the dumbest things I've read since this whole thing started was like all of the late night shows are basically on hold. SNL is on hold, and the fact that these late night shows are all helmed by accomplished comedians, and yet they don't even write their own jokes anymore, blows my mind.
I remember back, there was a strike. I saw some video of it. There's a strike back in the late 80s, early 90s. And Letterman kept going, but he would just do nothing. I think for a half hour, he threw televisions off the roof of the building of his studio. I think that was back when it was the late show or whatever.
Oh man, that'd be dangerous because old TVs are heavy.
But like, yeah, he purposely found bit parts on his show to get the writers to come in and pay them to be on the show. Without having them write anything. I think he just brought in one of the writers and they just had a conversation for a half hour, just shooting the breeze about nothing. Talked about nothing for like for a part of the show.
So like the 9th season or whatever that Seinfeld was?
Yeah, the 2007 writer strike, Conan was out there like,
oh sure,
giving his all every night during the strike. Actually did some pretty funny stuff.
Well, because Conan is actually an accomplished writer.
Yeah, it's true.
And Conan's a funny guy.
Yeah.
As opposed to Jimmy Fallon, who
Jimmy Kimmel
has never been funny in his life.
I heard the James Corden show is like basically dead.
They
canceled it.
He's
Yeah,
done.
he's done.
He's out because nobody likes him.
Because nobody likes.
Yeah, nobody likes James Corden. Take that, car karaoke or whatever it's called.
I did a Facebook post the other day about that. I was thinking about that carpool karaoke. It's funny that that's his thing because he seems like he would throw a huge fit if he had to carpool like out of necessity.
Yes, I agree.
I have heard like out in the public he is a real dingus.
Yeah, there was some stories about him being really rude to wait staff at restaurants and stuff.
It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Also, no one should ever be rude to service individuals ever.
Yeah.
No, sure, no.
Well, I mean, you shouldn't be rude to people in general.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
especially service workers.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Colbert isn't just going on. If anybody could
do it, it's
he
Colbert.
could, yeah.
But also his show's on HBO. So, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. All I know
you're thinking
is
of John Oliver.
That's all.
Oh, that's right. You're right.
All I know is there are a lot of people who are big fans of Succession are currently looking at the season 2 of Heroes and going, "Oh God, oh no, oh no, hope it doesn't happen to us."
It's already done though. It's already done and it's ending. This
Okay.
is the last season.
Oh,
so.
this is okay. Well, then that's good at least. But like, I just remember the 07 strike where season 1 of I watched Heroes religiously every Monday night
Heroes
at 9
was
o'clock.
good
The first
for the
season
first season.
was some of the best television I had ever seen.
Save the cheerleader, save the world.
It's still in our lexicon despite it being 15 years old. But then the writer's strike happened and season 2 was truncated down to nothing and it never recovered.
Nope.
It never recovered from the writer's strike.
The circus and everything was terrible.
It was starting to come back in season 4, but season 3 was nothing. Was nothing.
And then they did Heroes Reborn.
And
I forgot about that.
I have that sitting on my PC to watch. I have not watched it yet.
Henry Zabrowski's in it. The last podcast guy.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They make fun of him a lot for it because it bombed so hard.
But anyway,
yeah.
writer's strike. I don't understand why these. Well, I mean, I do understand why these corporations won't pay employees a decent wage because
It's because they're evil.
Because they're corporations.
There are no ethical rich people. So anyway,
The money.
Yeah, the money. We need all the money.
yes, they're all hoarding things like they're freaking smog hiding in a mountain.
I did see a writer's strike picket sign that said, "Pay us more or we'll spoil Succession." Which
Yeah,
is good.
that's good.
There's a lot of good picket signs.
The picket signs have been because they're writers.
They're writers, yeah.
Because they're writers. Yeah, of course. So, okay, let's move on to some other things. Some things that are probably... Chances are all of our following news articles are going to be affected by the writer's strike because it's all media that includes writing. But we're going to talk about it anyway.
I mean, I feel like pretty much all media is writing.
Yeah.
Unless you're penning something yourself. It's writing.
Except for this show, all improv, baby.
90% of it.
Yeah, sometimes I pre-write the intro.
That's
and by
true.
write, I mean write it in my head.
That's
but
true.
sometimes
Well, you
I
got to
do.
stop now because
yeah.
writer's strike.
Solidarity.
That's right.
Don't be a scab.
So let's talk about. We have some game news, I guess.
Sorta.
I guess.
Man, I'm going to preference this for the audience. A lot of this news is sorta.
We have some crumblings of some game news.
Yeah. The game Hollow Knight Silksong, the sequel that was originally a DLC that got too big,
Kind
is
of like Zelda.
yeah. It's it being pushed back yet again, surprising no one.
I feel like any game is getting pushed back anymore.
Well, this one has been pushed back for so long. It's becoming the people are comparing it to the Half-Life joke.
3?
The Half-Life 3 about how, oh, it's just around the corner. It's going to come out eventually, and it never did.
Or Ubisoft's Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
And this is only their second game.
Yeah.
Oof.
From what I understand, it's like a lot of feature creep and stuff like that. They keep adding stuff to the game because they think it's going to be cool.
Mighty Number 9.
Well, Mighty Number 9 was just bad.
It wasn't feature creep as much as it was too many SKUs. They had too many consoles.
There were too many problems with it, and it made me cry like an anime fan on prom night. That ad was the worst.
Yeah, that stunk.
Oh, that stunk on ice.
Who do you think is the main demographic for your anime game?
Yeah. So that's getting pushed back. Street Fighter 6 is coming out. It's going to be out here in the next couple of weeks. And Capcom has teamed up with Udon Comics, as they normally do.
Yeah, they always do.
Yeah. Udon, they make quality stuff. I mean, they don't make anything original. It's all licensed properties stuff.
So Lego.
Basically
Lego
anymore.
used to make originals.
I know, right?
They still make city sets.
Yeah. Well, technically, it's part of the Lego movie universe.
Actually, they announced a new theme a couple weeks ago called Dreams, with some Z's at the end.
Is it like dragons and stuff?
I think there's fantasy creatures, but it's based on like going inside people's dreams.
Oh, interesting.
So it's completely original.
So it's a big blanket term, so they can just make whatever they want.
Yeah, kinda.
So there's going to be one where like the Lego person is nude in front of a stage on a stage in front of people, and then all their teeth are going to fall out
while they're taking a test for a class they didn't go to.
Yep. I have a recurring nightmare when I was in college and still pursuing art in college. Briefly, I had a recurring nightmare where my right arm would fall off.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I get the fallout teeth. I used to get the teeth fallout one a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I was so stressed out about art and college and stuff and the future that I would have a recurring nightmare where my right arm would fall off and I would no longer be able to do art.
When I was an early teen, I used to have a reoccurring theme in my dreams where no matter what I was dreaming about, in some scenario, I would lose a leg. Or part of a leg.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know why. It's almost like, the Adventure Time, foreshadowing of Finn losing his arm all the time until he finally did. I hope that's not going to happen. Your leg.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm short enough as it is. I don't want to be a Cotton Hill running around with no shins.
But then peg leg.
I know, right?
Pirate times.
I already got one eye. Let's go.
There you go. Get yourself a pirate or a parrot and you're good to go.
I had a dream last night. I was waiting in line to get Splatoon 3.
Okay.
Sure that was a dream and not just, something that happened?
No, it was a dream. And I don't know why it was Splatoon 3 because I was very clearly thinking about Zelda and getting it. But for some reason, my brain's like, Splatoon 3.
Well, sure.
Because the last Splatfest was Zelda themed.
Yeah.
There you go. No, I have the you're at work dream.
Dude, I have so many work dreams.
I wake up feeling like I've worked 8 hours and then have to get up and go to work for over 8 hours.
Our jobs should just also clock us in for our work dreams.
I wish. I mean, it would be thematically appropriate for me.
I know,
working
right?
And sleep, but anyway, the Udon Comics and Street Fighter. That's who we were talking about when we got into all this.
Yeah,
we told everybody about our dreams, which I'm sure is very exciting radio.
Why not? At this point, why not? They're putting out a prequel comic to kind of lead in some of the stories going into Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 is not only the newest game, but it is the most recent in the timeline because there for a while they kept looping things back. For the longest time, Street Fighter, no matter how far they went, Street Fighter 3 was always the end of the timeline. Well, now six takes place after the timeline, which means Alpha 1, 2, 3, Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 6. 4?
Fun.
No. It goes 2, 4, 5, 3, 6.
And 1 doesn't count.
And 1 doesn't count because the Alpha series is technically a remake of the original Street Fighter. Yeah. Anyway, we learn why Ken Masters, the palette swap for the main character, Ryu.
White Ryu.
Red Ryu. We find out why Red Ryu is a hobo now, living on the streets, getting into fights in his sweatpants.
He got in with that bum fights guy.
Well, I mean, that remains to be seen, but he lost his company due to cryptocurrency. A timely thing.
It's a cautionary tale for all those crypt bros.
Yeah, it's a cautionary tale. You'll end up doing tatsumakis on the street for quarters.
Yeah. I wish that Square Enix would make these kind of jokes instead of just making more crypto garbage.
Well, that's yes. Yeah. Yep. But so there's that. What other game news?
Actually, I think the executive at Square Enix that kept pushing that did get fired. So
a guy they hired is also a crypto guy.
Oh boy. So
Yep.
they got rid of one and got another. Cool.
They got another that is better at marketing the crypto. That's the whole thing. The old guy wasn't doing crypto well enough.
Because there's a way to do it good.
Who knows? Who knows?
Palette swap crypt bro.
Yeah. So there's another fighting game thing. Ed Boon unofficially announced Mortal Kombat 1, the sequel to Mortal Kombat 11.
Yes, the reboot of
What are numbers?
Yeah.
I know.
What are numbers
Well,
these days?
The logo guy just has to take one of the Roman numerals off.
That's
and then
true.
Or not Roman, one of the numbers off. And it's just
Yeah.
one.
They took a page out of EA and DICE when they made Battlefield 1.
Yeah. But apparently this is a timeline reset, so it's going to be...
Like they did like 2 games ago.
And they did 2 games ago. No, they did in 11. They also did in 7? They've reset the timeline like 3 or 4 times at this point, and I have a feeling it's being brought more in line with the movies.
It doesn't matter. It's all dumb garbage.
Yeah, it's Street Fighter. It's Mortal Kombat. It's all
Story and fighting games is interesting, but ultimately not important.
yeah.
Well, like Mortal Kombat is especially bad.
Yeah.
It's all a bunch of like junior high notebook scribbles.
But that's the charm, though.
Yeah.
That's the charm.
Yeah, people just play it because they want ultra-violent street, or they all want ultra-violent punch-ups.
I love the lore, though. I love the stupid lore. The fact that Johnny Cage keeps taking breaks from the U.S. military so he can make more movies based on the plots of the other Mortal Kombat games, where he substitutes himself as the main hero each time,
instead of Liu Kang.
Liu Kang and oh geez, well, Cassie Cage was the canonical winner of one of them,
and that's his daughter.
That is
Hatman. Kung Lao.
Kung Lao. Kung Lao sucks. Everybody hates Kung Lao.
I like Kung Lao.
He just throws his hat.
Yeah, cool.
Well,
I'm a
he's
hat guy.
He's also a whiny baby because his whole personality is, I am the descendant of an old hero named the Great Kung Lao. I have an inferiority complex about how I will never live up to either my descendants' honor or my cousin Liu Kang.
Didn't they murk him real bad in the movie?
Incredibly.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Incredibly. And he spent, at this point in the game series, he has been a zombie. He's been not a zombie, but a revenant, because he's a mystical zombie. He's been a revenant longer than he was alive.
No, revenants are the skeletons that have rocket launcher backpacks.
That's it. Well, that too, yeah.
At least he didn't get turned into a robot like almost everybody else in Mortal Kombat.
That's true.
Oh, the cyborg? Yeah, the cyberlinque.
They're ninjas, but also robots.
Mm-hmm. They're ninjas, but also robots.
Smoke.
Rain has been one at one point. Cyrax, Sector. The second Sub-Zero was temporarily, but he got better.
They should put Rosie the robot from the Jetsons in.
Oh, that would be great.
DLC
That would be great.
Yeah, her chest just opens up and it's a meat grinder.
And she can shoot the net out like
she can. Yeah. Well, they already have that with Cyrax, though.
She could do that too.
Yeah.
She's got like rocket fists like that one giant Japanese robot.
Oh yeah. But like the plotting of Mortal Kombat is stupid, and I love it. I love it. It's so dumb.
You can tell they put way too much thought into it for what it is too.
Uh-huh.
You can tell they're trying really hard, but it's just not.
It fails, and that's why it
Yeah.
succeeds.
It's like a bad movie. It's sincere and it's awful.
That's exactly it. It is 100% sincere. It is the most serious thing, and despite a Scorpion always being a bad guy, he is Ed Boon's favorite character.
He's
He's always got to be on the box.
Yeah, but
he's got to always be the hero.
I mean, he's literally the logo of the company.
Yeah.
In the last game, they went to extreme measures in order to not only kill off the modern day living Scorpion so that they can reintroduce a time traveling past demon Scorpion, but then also convince past demon Scorpion that he is actually a good guy so that he can look like the demon Scorpion and also be a good guy.
Man, this feels like that one stupid comic where Doomsday was kind of a good guy, but then Doomsday turned around and killed a kid.
Yeah. It's kind of like that.
I mean, Venom Lethal Protector makes a better jump to make Venom a good guy.
The one thing that I love more than anything is they keep making Raiden just the worst.
He always messes up.
He always messes every time.
Kung Fu Panda.
Yeah.
Did you see that clip? It was like some sort of news clip covering a con, and the lady's like, there's all kinds of wild things here, like a man dressed as Kung Fu Panda, and it was just a larger man dressed as Raiden.
Oh no. Oh no.
It's like, why did you have to go at him so hard?
Because she watched Kung Fu Panda 3, and in the opening cinematic, he wears that.
He's got the hat.
He's got that hat.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Oh, that's so good.
It is very clearly Raiden, though.
Oh, man. Oh, I love it.
There's that one YouTube video where that guy goes to cons and purposely mislabels people's cosplays.
Oh, I
think those are kind of funny.
When they used to do that with the Alucards from Helsing, they would call him Carmen Sandiego.
Everybody with a red jacket.
Yeah.
Vash the Stampede, Carmen Sandiego.
I would love to go to a convention and go up to every Deadpool and say, hey, great Spider-Man costume.
Yeah.
Or remember that time that we were at the convention?
And you called Falco
from Star Fox. I said, oh man, that's a great Toucan Sam costume.
He just shook his head.
Shook his head, put his head down, and shuffled away.
I mean, to be fair, Falco looks like Toucan Sam.
He does look like Toucan Sam, and I didn't know that it was Falco, but...
Trolling on a professional level.
Yeah. So we have a couple of really quick hits, and then
that's what he gets for having a bad Smash main.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, he's just all he is a color swap Star Fox.
All right. So speaking of Mortal Kombat, apparently they're working on the second movie. Well, except for the writer strike.
Yeah.
And Carl Urban is in talks to portray Johnny Cage, the movie star / mystic warrior with the green kicks.
I liked that stupid Mortal Kombat movie.
I did too.
I thought it was good fun for what like you would want from a Mortal Kombat movie.
It's stupid, and that's what it needed to be.
Yeah.
Is stupid.
I did the
Plus, it had my boy Cabal in it.
Yeah.
And Cabal's great. Looks like Darth Vader with sickle swords.
It had Natara.
And
the
Natara,
cool
yeah.
vampire lady. And
Yeah,
they died immediately.
At least it's not Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
I didn't even mind like the audience self-inserts.
Oh, the main guy?
Like,
yeah.
A lot of
he
people
was fine.
were mad about him. I'm like, it's fine. That's just the device they chose to use.
I honestly
It was
thought
fine.
at the end of the movie he was going to say, well, you know what? I think MMA fighting, it's not for me. Hollywood, that's what's for me. I'm going to change my name to Johnny Cage.
I seriously thought that's where they were going to go.
Yeah, but
they could have.
but now
Easily.
But Carl Urban is a good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I can't think of anything I've seen that had him in it that I didn't like.
Yeah, he's consistently a delight.
Dredd is excellent.
Hey, Disney, since you own Fox now, how about we put a proper ending on Almost Human?
I wish. It's never going to happen,
Oh,
but I wish.
I know. I love that show.
That was a great show.
He was a good McCoy on
was a
Star Trek.
very good
Yeah, he was
McCoy.
a very good McCoy.
He was great as what's his name, the Destroyer in
Oh.
Drax? He's not Drax.
not Drax,
No.
but The executioner
The executioner,
in the
yes.
Thor movie,
Yes.
where he kept just looting Earth for like stuff.
And the
That
fact,
was a good joke.
And at the end of the movie, when he's got those two M16s and he's pulling the Doom cover.
Yeah,
He's literally doing the Doom cover. The old school Doom.
some other things that are getting sequels. Dodgeball.
No.
Sometimes you can just have a good, funny,
A good
comedy
dumb movie.
and just let it be.
See, Dodgeball, I think it was a great movie, and it said everything it needed to say.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's got good jokes. It's quotable.
Yep.
I mean, people to this day still say, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
And that's not even the best line in the movie.
I know.
But that's the one everybody knows.
Yeah.
That's one of the top comedy movies of its time.
Sure.
I would say. I mean, it's no Anchorman 1.
No.
Nothing is.
No.
But it has Steve the Pirate.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alan
Tudyk.
Yeah, friend of my brain, Alan Tudyk.
Speaking of things that don't need sequels but are apparently getting them, Beetlejuice 2.
Yeah.
This is like announced like for real hardcore.
Like today.
This is going to happen.
Winona Ryder is attached. Jenna
Ortega.
Ortega.
is going to play her daughter, and then
Which,
Michael Keaton's going to be the juice man.
And it's
Bringing back the juice.
He's bringing back the juice.
The juice is loose.
Oh.
I hope that's the tagline.
Oh no. Oh no. Is Beetlejuice going to drive a white Bronco?
No, it's striped. It's white and black
Yeah, it's
stripes.
white and black stripes. Yeah.
It looks like a sandworm.
Yeah.
Sandworms. Am I right?
Hey, sandworms.
You know what? Michael Keaton's been making a resurgence. So,
Do whatever.
yeah.
I mean,
I don't want to watch The Flash, but I want to watch Michael Keaton as Batman again.
That's why I will watch The Flash for free. It's some other way.
Let's save the talk about the Flash later because we have voicemails.
Oh yeah, we have.
right.
Oh, speaking of, let's jump into them.
Yeah, voicemails.
Yeah, it's about that time. So we're gonna play the voicemail jingle. Hey, do you remember that from Cartoon Planet with Brack? Do you remember it?
Man, I forgot we even did this bit. But
Because no one ever sends us voicemails.
yeah, but who? Yeah, I was gonna say whoever uses their phone other than telemarketers.
Okay, so I have not heard these. Cody, you have,
I
right? Has anyone else heard them yet?
I heard one of them.
Okay, so I'm going to play one of them, and we're going to see which one this one is.
Hi, I'm an average viewer, and I really like the podcast. What are your thoughts on the new Flash movie?
Thoughts on the Flash movie?
Yep.
I mean, I feel like we've kind of talked about this a bit over the last few months, but I mean,
I've seen the trailer a couple more times since then, and
Yeah.
It's conflicting.
Yeah, it conflicts me more every time.
Yeah,
like Ezra Miller can go walk off a cliff as far as I care,
Sure.
but Michael Keaton coming back as the '89 Batman.
So here,
That Supergirl, really cool.
Supergirl,
Oh, yeah.
that
Oh, yeah,
Supergirl
cool.
is very cool.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Michael Keaton coming back is very cool, and he says the things. He says, "Dance with the devil in the pale moonlight." He says,
"You want to get crazy?
You want to
Let's
get nuts? Let's get nuts."
Yep.
He says, "I'm Bat." He says he introduces himself as "I'm Batman." I get it.
I'm Batman.
But I don't know if that's going to be enough for me to turn and go, okay, I will see this movie. And I'll tell you why. It's partially Ezra Miller. It's the actor has made it very difficult to separate the art from the artist.
Oh yeah.
They've made it incredibly difficult.
Also, the fact that other actors have done not quite as bad things, and their careers are almost getting sunk right there. Yet they are allowed to
helm a multi-million-dollar
Exactly.
huge tentpole film.
And the other thing, I think the thing that I'm actually more kind of about is how many years are we removed from Man of Steel? At least 10.
Oh, yeah.
Right? At least 10. We're still going back to Zod. We're still going back to the initial invasion of Kryptonians. In 10 years, DC in its current state has not been able to move past this one point. And I'm sorry, I didn't like it the first time I watched this story when it was in Man of Steel. I doubt very seriously I'm going to like the same story remixed.
That's a good point. There's so many
It was
villains.
a bad movie. It was a bad start to the universe.
It is a case of Arrested Development and not the good show, the actual term.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Like, there's so many good DC villains, too.
They could do literally anything because
Also,
here's the thing.
That Zod was
It's a
made into
movie.
Doomsday?
They could just write whatever they want and do it. And yet they keep coming back. Well, it's not just this one. Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman loops back around to it because that Doomsday monster thing at the end of Man of Steel is supposedly the body of Zod transformed.
The Chic Razor Man?
Yeah. They loop back around to that. They loop back around to it in Justice League, and here they are once again going back to the well in the Flash.
It's like if the MCU was all building on one specific character the whole time.
It's like if
if it had one narrative thread.
I mean...
No, it would more than that. It would be like, okay, here it is, Avengers Infinity War, and they're going up against the Chitauri again.
I mean, they kind of did because they go back to the Battle of New York.
For a scene.
Yeah.
For a scene. If the ultimate climax was, hey, everybody, we're going to get on a spaceship and travel back in time to stop the Chitauri again. That's what it is.
Yeah. Oh,
That's what it is.
And if all the other characters didn't have their own stuff going on.
Yeah, exactly. So I will watch the movie out of obligation for this show. I will not go opening weekend. I may not even see it in the theaters.
Yeah, I don't know if I.
Oh, no,
would see it in
I'm
the
not
theater
seeing it in
either.
theaters.
But I do kind of want to see it.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to, but that's the dumb
Morbid
thing.
curiosity is going to get the better of it.
But also the fact that why does it even matter? Because with James Gunn,
Oh yeah, it's all going down the.
It's all getting rewritten anyways.
all the Snyder trash is going in the bin.
Yeah.
At least we get to keep Blue Beetle.
That's true.
True. And also Blue Beetle looks good.
Yep. Thank you for the voicemail. We appreciate it.
Yes,
we
we
have
do. Yes,
one
we do.
more
Thank
here.
you, thank you, average viewer.
Yes, absolutely. Other voicemail. Here we go.
Wrong number, sorry.
Well,
Good
thank
talk.
you very much.
Yeah,
Good talk.
No
Good
problem.
talk.
No problem.
No worries.
man.
Hey, appreciate it. Really appreciate you.
I like that they didn't just hang up after they heard the voicemail message.
Yeah. They just, okay. Well, I mean, they had to let us know, and I appreciate that, But anyway, we've hit the end of the show, so let's go ahead and wrap things up. You have been listening to Nerd Overload. Thank you very much for tuning in. You can find us each and every day over at nerdoverload.com.
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, or support our Patreon at Nerd Overload Now.
You can email us at staff@nerdoverload.com.
You can give us a call on that very same hotline we played messages from just a minute ago. The number is 419-561-5556. Leave us a message and we might play it on the show. We just did.
And listen, judging by our second voicemail, you call us, we're gonna play it. You can also find all of our back episodes on various podcast apps such as Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, and more. Finally, I'd like to thank Parker for helping us out over at the Facebook page, and also David Pencil for the use of our intro and outro. You can find more of his stuff over at davidpencil.com. So again, thank you all for tuning in, and we will be back next week.
I'm Batman.